Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right. Got a couple of things we're going to talk about. The NCAA bracket, how the Vols are situated. Also, we're going to talk about the top 25 coaches. They have been ranked. We're going to discuss that a little bit. But, yeah, we've got the NCAA coming up this week. And, of course, I definitely want to talk about this Josh Heupel situation. As you know, things have changed a lot in the football world for the Vols. Josh Heupel kind of let the SEC know there's a new sheriff in town.
That's an attention getter.
Yep, no doubt. That's an attention getter. And he's kind of changed things for us. But I'll tell you what, first let's talk about the basketball team, since that's the most pressing thing going on right now. Let's take a look at this bracket and discuss it a little bit. All right, here's the entire bracket here, and let's. I'm going to make this bigger so we can see where we're at. This is actually on CBS, and they've gone ahead and filled it out, I guess, based on rankings as far as who they think will win, et cetera. But here you can see we'll be playing Louisiana, and they're a decent team. If they shoot well and they really crash those boards, it's going to be a little bit tough. But I think we'll handle them. Then we'll end up playing Duke. And, of course, CBS has got Duke beating Tennessee. I don't know about that. I guess we'll have to see. Look, these last 12 games have been tough. We've gone 5-7. That's just the reality. It's been a lot like this.
I can't see nothing. Got to open my eye. Cut me, Mick.
I don't want to do it.
Go ahead, cut me.
Yep, cut me, Mick. It's just been rough, man. We've been getting beat up pretty good. Even had we not had those freak events where we lost those 2 games on last-second Hail Marys, we'd still only been 7-5. So it's been a tough time. And we've lost our point guard, who is a really integral part of our team, handles the ball really well, shoots free throws great, shoots a nice 3-ball too. So we're having to do it by committee. And we've got plenty of talent, but unfortunately, I don't know if we have enough time for all that to merge. You know, losing Ziegler's a real blow, but you never know. When you get in a tournament situation, we get 1 or 2 guys hot, we could just, we could wind up in the Elite 8 all of a sudden. We could also get knocked out in the first round. Now, some of our key players, obviously Vescovi, or Vescovi, however you say it, he is a very critical player. He's been playing great. He really played well in the tournament and hit those threes and hit those free throws. And you'll notice, he was the guy that missed a couple of free throws, and those guys made those Hail Marys. Well, he's been kind of carrying the team ever since, and he's been very clutch. So Vescovi's kind of the key guy there. And then James needs to have a good game, period. He's got to hit some threes. That's just the way that it is. That really helps us a lot. Phillips. Now, let's talk about Phillips for a minute. I really saw him going to the draft, NBA draft after this year. I'm not 100% sure on that. This is a guy that's got loads of talent. I mean, you see it out there. He's got the moves like Jagger. Okay, he can really spin and move, and he's got great touch around the basket. He can score. He's a fantastic free throw shooter. What I would like to see him do, rather than necessarily going in probably late first round, second round type situation, is to stay 1 more year. You've got your NIL money, and to work on a 3-point shot. Because if you can score around the basket like he can, and you can hit 80% free throws, you can be a shooter from the 3-point line. If you remember Williams, I never could understand why the coach didn't have Williams shooting 3-pointers, because I knew that guy could be a great 3-point shooter. He was fantastic around the rim. He'd score 18, 20 points a game. He would shoot 90% from the free throw line. I watched him make 21 straight free throws against Vanderbilt one game. He was just Mr. Clutch. Well, now he's in the NBA. Guess what he's doing? He's shooting threes for Boston, and he's signing a huge contract. So I could see Phillips going down that path. That's what he's going to wind up being pressured to do in the NBA, because he's 6'8", moves great, and if he could hit those threes, he would become invaluable, and he would be signing a $25, $30 million contract per year. So we'll see what happens with Phillips. I would like to see him stay 1 more year and develop a 3-point shot. Key. We need Key to show up like he did against Missouri in that last game. He really showed up, and he's done that a couple of times. We can't have him disappear. Same with Olivier. We need at least 12 points out of him, maybe 14, to really help us out on a regular basis. If he disappears, we're going to struggle. And those are really our 5 scoring players that we have remaining, and they're all good. They all can be good. They can also all struggle at times. So that's really where I see us headed. We need to get past this first game for sure and then somehow beat Duke and get into the Sweet 16. And then I think the entire town will feel like this.
But to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
That's right. They'll be excited. All right, folks, now we're going to talk about our boy Josh Heupel. All right, folks, this is Bruce Feldman's top 25. And he does have Nick Saban as number 1, but we're going to go down through this list and see where our boy Josh Heupel winds up. They've got, let's see, they've got Nick Saban, number 1, and I don't have any problem with this at all. The guy's won 7 national titles. I know he's been crying about the Vols not wanting to play him and mad about how they're so fast on offense, but look, the guy's won it all. He's won everything that you can win. So he's definitely number 1. Kirby Smart, I don't have a problem with that. The guy's won 2 national titles in a row. I think that's reasonable. Dabo comes in at number 3, and he's won a couple of titles, so I guess that's okay. At number 3, I think that's fair. Jim Harbaugh. I'm a Jim Harbaugh fan. I think he's a really good coach. I wish the Raiders had hired him a year and a half ago instead of what knucklehead they got from New England. He stinks. He'd already been an NFL coach once, head coach, and he failed. Why they hired him again, I don't know. But we could have had Jim Harbaugh at the Raiders. And look, I'm way more a Vols fan than I am a Raiders fan, but I still got some love for the Raiders. And I've been real disappointed with that coaching decision. So anyway, that's kind of neither here nor there. James Franklin comes in at number 5. You know, he's a good, solid coach. Look, this is a guy that won at Vanderbilt. Nobody wins at Vanderbilt, so I'm okay with that. Ryan Day at Ohio State, he's a good, solid coach. That's perfectly fine. Lincoln Riley, not a huge fan of Riley because the way he did Brew McCoy and the way he ran away from the SEC like a scared little kid.
Brave Sir Robin ran away. No. Bravely ran away. I didn't.
Yeah, brave Sir Riley. But anyway, number 7, I guess that's okay. He's a good coach as far as the X's and O's. Brian Kelly, I have no problem with him at number 8. Brian Kelly's a very good coach. Here's Kyle Whittingham. He's been really solid for Utah. I know they're happy to have him. Lance Leopold of Kansas. He's moved way up to number 10. Luke Fickell. He was great at Cincinnati. That's a reasonable showing there. Dave Clawson. Now, I know you folks remember Dave Clawson. He was our offensive coordinator, came in with Philip Fulmer there at the end and actually got Fulmer fired. How'd that work out for Tennessee? Woo! They should have given him another year. And then we went, but you know what? We got our boy Lane Kiffin. How'd that work out for us? Good grief. But anyway, Dave Clawson's actually a good coach at Wake Forest. Let's see. Chris Kleiman of Kansas State. He wasn't even ranked. He's moved up real big time. They had a great year last year. Chip Kelly. Chip's still a good coach, man. He's still a good coach. Matt Rule of Nebraska. We'll see. Kalen DeBoer of Washington. We'll see. Jimbo Fisher's ahead of Josh Heupel. I can tell you this much. Who would you rather have? Josh Heupel or Jimbo Fisher? That's a real easy one for me. Mark Stoops. Again, who would you rather have? Josh Heupel or Mark Stoops? Again, that's a layup. Hugh Freeze is ahead of Josh Heupel. Okay. And Hugh's a good coach. He's going to win down there in Auburn, but, I mean, come on. Sonny Dykes from TCU. Sonny Dykes had a great year last year. I'm okay with that one. I wouldn't put him ahead of Josh Heupel, but that's okay. Mike Norvell's a good, solid coach, 21. And I believe there he is, number 22, the hype. He took what was a punchline of a program in the wake of a dumpster fire of a decade and somehow got the Vols to an 11-2 in year 2, which is quite a feat. He was 28-8 at UCF, real solid. And, of course, he was the offensive coordinator for Missouri when they were really good. You remember when they came into the SEC and they, won the East a couple times? Josh Heupel's why. Just know that. Then they got Kirk, Ferentz of Iowa. There's Brett Bielema and Troy Calhoun. So number 22, I don't agree with that. He should probably be somewhere around 15, something like that. And he's just going to keep rising. He'll be in the top 10 within a year or so, and probably in the top 5 within 2 years as he continues to develop this offense and build the defense, which was really, that was a battle. I mean, when you lose 30 players and you lose your top 2 linebackers, and I could go down the whole list. I've done it for you many times. That's rough. But he's got us the number 1 offense in the country, and our scoring defense is now, let's see. Yeah, right here, they've gone down from 90th to 36th. Like I said, if that trend continues, we can get down in the 20s. That would be really good. So anyway, while I disagree with that ranking, at least they did have him in the top 25. They didn't completely disrespect him. All right, folks, I just wanted to cover those things today. And we will be playing Louisiana at 9:40 p.m. Thursday, March 16th. Or that's this week, March 16th at 9:40. 9:40 p.m. Man, that's late. Dag nabbit. Why can't we have the 7 o'clock game or the 6 o'clock or something like that? Oh, well. It is what it is. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out. I would appreciate it. And right over here is the subscribe button. All of y'all watch my videos, you don't hit that little button. It's just boom. It really helps me out. It doesn't cost you a thing, not a penny. And right over here is my most recent video. Be sure to check that one out. And I hope you did like the content. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.